Hello and welcome back to Logan Sounds Off. Today on my podcast I'm going to be doing my first album review of 2025. It's pretty insane. I am going to be reviewing Careful of Your Keepers by This Is The Kit. Now you may realise this is a bit different to the original cover. I actually was able to get this signed by Kate Stables and Neil of This Is The Kit. I went to see them live in Kilkenny thanks to the incredible Gary Keogh. He showed me that it was on and he was very helpful regarding that. My interview with Gary and the link to Roller Coaster Records will be down below, his record shop. And I bought the record there and I got it signed. And also Kate drew a little crocodile here for the little, I'm not even sure what it is because it's not a crocodile she's standing on, but I'm not really sure what it is. It's a very captivating picture. And then this was on the 14th of the 8th, 2024. So not too long ago. This is an incredible album. Really nice pressing. You got all your information. Standard black vinyl. Really nice. And I loved listening to this record. It sounds much better on vinyl than it does on streaming. If I'm being honest, it sounds way better. So I do want to just shout that out. So this was actually released by Rough Trade, just for anybody who wants to know that. And it was published by 4AD Songs / Beggars Music Limited. So really, really cool album this is. And I'm excited to chat to you guys about it. All of these songs were written by Kate Stables, or if they weren't, they were partially written by her. I don't think there even is any that she partially wrote, though. She wrote all of them. And I actually got to speak to Kate, on the podcast, so the interview to that will be down below, and she is an incredible musician. And this album, before we get into the actual music of it, and before I start delving into it, if you like my channel, and you watch it often, please subscribe. It helps me out so much. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, leave a like, share it with your friends, and put down a comment below. And if you're on a podcast, please save this to your episodes, download it, whatever you need to do. Always those saves really do help me out. As well as this, make sure to follow me, my podcast, turn on notifications if you're on Spotify, and comment as well if you're on Spotify too, and check out some of my previous episodes as well on the podcast. It really does help. So just want to let you know that. So before we get into it, please just scroll down for a sec and do that one little thing. So now we need to get into the music, the best part of this whole review. Starting off with Goodbye Bite, which is one of my favourite tracks on the album. It's got this really cool guitar and it starts off very quickly actually. It's quite upfront in your face for a song. It's very, very quick, and you got this amazing bass line in it, and obviously like if you're a fan of This Is The Kit just as much as I am, you know they are amazing with their bass lines. The bass lines are incredible. And these warm drums that sound so good, especially where I got to see them, which is actually in a cathedral in Kilkenny. I believe it was St. Canice's. I don't exactly remember the name. That may be it. I may have got it wrong. But yeah, the amazing drums, and sounds great when you're listening to them live. And then a really cool brass section as well. And just with this starting off very quick, it's actually quite an upfront and fun, really, really interesting song to start off the album with. And I just find that such an interesting title, Goodbye Bite. It's really, really funny, but that's this kid so creative. And then as well as this, you've got afterwards Inside Outside, which has this nice guitar clash and kind of bass. I'm not even sure if one's a bass and one's just a standard guitar, but they both play the same things but in reverse. So one's playing one note, one's playing one note, and then they swap. I think that's so genius. And these amazing vocals as well that get... Kate actually hit some really high notes on this song, so well done to Kate. And this nice delay on the guitars that's not too busy nearly, and this cool bass, and these really subtle shakers that just pull the song together. Those shakers sound amazing. And then as well, these kind of distant horns in the distance that are really, really cool. And this amazing vocal overlay of different vocals as well works really well. And these cool drum shuffles that maybe like a drum fill, but it has a bit of a shuffle to it, is really, really awesome. So Inside Outside is this explosion of creativity. And then you have Take You to Sleep, which is quite interesting because this feels a bit more eerie than Inside Outside or Goodbye Bite, and it has this cool banjo touch to it, which is always awesome to hear the banjo. I really enjoyed that, and these class vocals. Kate really did a great job singing on this particular song. Cool bass as well. The bass line in this really helps the song out. It really pulls it all together. And these simple drums. And then this kind of echoey guitar in it as well. And these cool horns that are awesome. And actually the brass and the horns and all these different instruments just sound so beautiful, especially on a record player. And then you have this really sudden stop at the end, which you don't usually get. Sometimes it just kind of fades out. This album is pretty chill regarding like going really fast into a stop or really fast into a start, apart from the first couple of tracks anyways. And then you have more change, and then you got this nice bass. As we've spoken about, the bass doesn't disappoint here either. It continues being amazing. You got the great guitar and this fun little snare edge, which I can't recall hearing that before on the album. I probably did, but I just found it really, really prominent on this particular track. And the snare edge really does work for the drums in This Is the Kid because it's such chilled out music, especially on This Is When the Sky Gets Big. The snare edge really works, so I think that's super cool. And then this unexpected piano. We haven't heard piano really too much or too prominent on the record yet, so I thought it was really awesome to be introduced this new instrument. And obviously the piano not only is a percussive and rhythmic and all that, it also just sounds amazing. The piano to me on this particular record sounds really, really cool and contributes beautifully. And then we've got This Is When the Sky Gets Big, and this is my favourite song. Really, really amazing. And I remember reading a review when I was actually researching for my interview with Kate, and I was reading a review of this album, and I was really curious to see what they thought of this song. And they said, apart from the empty filler song, This Is When the Sky Gets Big, and I was like, how is it a filler? This is peak for the album for me. This is where you're coming up. This is reaching the top of the mountain. I'm not saying any of the other songs are worse, but I'm saying this is like, creatively, this is the craziest song. And it starts off so simple and it's so vast. These nice bass lines, these deep, really interesting guitars that you can get invested in so quickly. These great vocals, as well as these subtle drums that really work well, and these great lyrics and this vocal overlay that works so well. And then as well, some of the other musicians in the band are singing along. So when you have Kate, obviously her beautiful voice, and as well the male vocals as well really add that deepness. So I love that, and I think it closes off side A pretty well. Side A overall is pretty good. It's pretty good. But there are a couple of songs that are significantly better, like This Is When the Sky Gets Big, whereas side B is consistently just all good tracks. But they're both the same level. But the thing is about side 1 is that it's like going up and down in my opinion. Like, this is merely my opinion. We've kind of skipped from just facts to actual opinion now. For just a minute. Is that it's kind of more up and down regarding creativity or maybe concepts or lyrics, just all these different things kind of going up and down. Even might be just be a slight bit, and then obviously when it's The Sky Gets Big, it's like boom, it's gone straight up for me. And then with something like side B, it's very consistent and everything. So I don't know, do you find that as well? And then you've got Scabby Head and Legs, and this is just the craziest title for a song ever, in a good way. And there's actually, at the gig, there was plasters for Scabby Head and Legs, which I thought was genius, and just whoever came up with that, perfect. If there's a team that helped This Is the Kid come up with merch ideas, you guys did a fantastic job on that one. It's really kind of fast paced, this song, subtle bass, kind of warm drums, we're introducing that again, like the start of the album. These horns, again, the piano's back, really, really great to see. I loved hearing the piano on this song, and great guitars, and it was really, really vast. And it was funny actually, like writing this review, because I write down notes from my reviews, like just even bullet points about a song that I want to discuss about. With the piano, I was kind of like, oh, we're only going to get the piano once. And then I was going, oh, there's piano on all of these tracks, and they're so different. So I found that really funny. And then you've got doomed or more doomed, which is quite ominous. it's quite insane, and these great vocals illuminate the entire track. It's amazing, and this harsh guitar and this sliding bass, the warmth that a sliding bass can achieve, that funky sound of just a sliding bass works so well. And I mean, when you look at all those kind of quirky indie songs with sliding bass, like Cannonball by the Breeders, it's so memorable as well. It comes straight back to mind. Like, and it also evokes like memories in the music video for Cannonball. All these different... The bass, though, I think is really, really cool. That sliding bass as well. Primus use a lot of... The bass is like the power drive for Primus. They're an insane band. Check out Primus if you haven't before. They're Primus. I can't really describe them. But yeah, cool guitar. And again, the subtle piano returns. This piano's consistently providing an amazing sound. And then you have Stuck in a Room. And there's a great bass line. And this bright guitar as well. You got your amazing vocals. And these nice drums. These just simplistic drums. And that's what's beautiful about this album. It's not going too insane. Because like there's some drummers who sound good when they're at their craziest, and then there's other drummers who which is actually for me, like there's some punk drummers who can make some real noise playing really fast, but to me what's showing how artistic a drummer is how well they can play slowly and how much they can achieve playing slowly, which and simplistically as well, with how much less they do, and then you have these subtle hats you've got these amazing hats on the song as well. The hi-hats, I really, really like that. And then it's vast and it's quite deep, and these great horns as well. So it's really, really good song, Stuck in a Room, but it's not as good as Dibs, which has this choir which is just going be okay over and over again in this kind of rhythmic ostinato for a good long time in the song, and it's really, really awesome. And this simple bass line, this vast guitar, again, the guitars are awesome on this. The pedals, I am curious. Actually, give me a sec. I got this pedal actually recently for Christmas. Sorry, bit of dust fell on it when I was getting it. And this is such a great pedal. And this has got so many effects on it. Like you got your volume here, and you change from loops, and you can loop with this and everything. It's such a cool pedal. I love it. Even I can't get those kind of sounds on it yet. Those reverbs and that vast sound. You can toggle things on it. I don't want to mess with it. Knowing how clumsy I am, I will destroy it, and I don't want to. That is very precious. But anyways, these sweet guitar swells as well just erupt throughout the whole song. And again, the piano returns on this final track. It's great. So overall, this album goes through so many different instruments and sounds so amazing. So keeping that in mind of how great it sounds and how much I love listening to it on vinyl and how much I return to it just if I want to relax listening to something, I'm going to give this a 5 stars because this is a great album. Definitely check this out. Careful of Your Keepers is definitely a keeper. Check out links for This Is the Kit, my interview with Gary Keogh and Kate Stables down below, some useful links for Rough Trade. As well as this, check out links for my own social media if you want to. Please follow, please subscribe, please go to my website and subscribe to me there as well. Make sure you're all up to date on Logan Sounds Off. Thank you so much for joining me on my first review of 2025.